2021 was a rocky year with catastrophe after catastrophe, and it wasn't easy still being on lockdown at the beginning of the year. However, we can all agree that it was a great year for Marvel movies. Films such as Venom Let There Be Carnage, Black Widow, and Spider-Man No Way From Home highlighted the year for many comic book fans.
I watched Black Widow because the main character, it really shows her backstory, because before you don't really get to see where she came from and how she got to the point where she is today.
For the most part, I don't really watch TV that much. I don't really have a good attention span. But I do like some of the characters, like Iron Man and Spider-Man.
A lot of people admired many superheroes growing up and were introduced into the world of Marvel fandom because of their ability to relate to their favorite heroes.
The Deadpool movies introduced me into Marvel.
I always loved tech and just like trying to figure out how stuff works. And his entire power, I guess, is how good he is with making things in tech and how resourceful he is. And honestly, he's been sort of a role model for me in like how I figure things out, like to use the best of what you have and just not let your situation hold you back.
So I actually seen the first movie that came out a long time ago. It was called Iron Man, and it was cool how he built technology. It was really, really cool.
Getting back to the year that was in 2021, the choices of good Marvel movies to watch were endless. Many people had their thoughts on what their favorite scene from each Marvel film was.
My favorite scene would probably be when he breaks out of the... I'm trying to remember what it was called, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah, breaks out of the lab. I'm gonna call it a lab.
Honestly, I think my favorite scene was when Venom was like completely terrified of Carnage. Just, oh, that's a red one.
Where you going? That is a red one.
That just made me laugh so much because he's always portrayed as being like so powerful, and he just was terrified of him.
Even during the events of 2021, Marvel proved that it can still make good movies that people will watch over and over again. Hopefully 2022 will be just as good as a year for the company. Signing off from PNN, I'm Jordan.
Everywhere you go, there are rules set into place, whether that be work, home, or even school. Here at Maryville High School, we have a lot of rules to ensure we have a safe, comfortable learning environment. The rules we have here work. However, some students might not always agree. I took a tour around the land of the pirates to get different opinions on our school rules. Dress code is one of the major rules at Maryville High School. You can also say it's one of the biggest broken rules. Junior Tiana Chandler thinks that dress code could use some adjustments. If there was something you can change about the dress code, what would that be?
I would change like with the girls mainly because you know they sexualize it, like the crop tops, the ripped jeans, because I feel like why y'all so worried about what we wear regardless of like our education. If we come to school for our education, why you worried about what we wear? You feel me? And then another thing is coats, because the school is really cold and some people like me, I don't got a locker. Where I'm gonna put my coat? I don't got nothing in it.
Almost everyone loves listening to music. One rule of our school is that we cannot wear headphones in the building. Junior Armada Green shares her opinions on the no headphone policy. Do you feel the policy about no headphones in the hallway is fair?
I don't think it's fair, because sometimes people just want to listen to their music and tone out the noise, because the hallways do be really loud, and like to me, like I just don't like hearing all the noise, so yeah.
Everyone has their own opinion. There has been many debates on whether or not cell phones are necessary in the building. Jada Adams gives her perspective on the no phones rule. Do you think cell phones should be allowed out at all times?
I mean, not all times, but I feel like if the teacher is like talking and teaching a lesson, we should like listen to them and pay attention. But if they're not, like if we're like doing like our work, I feel like we don't have to. I feel like we can use our phones when we like doing like independent work and stuff.
Some may believe that the rules at our school are strict. Others may beg to differ. Talia Chandler believes that having strict rules does not have an effect on your successful future. Do you think strict rules are a way to a successful future?
I feel like it's not, because I feel like if we have strict rules, I feel like nobody will never really follow them if the school is that strict on them. So I feel like we shouldn't.
As a teenager, rules may seem unfair. You might not understand that the adults guiding you through only mean well at heart. With that being said, always remember to follow your school rules. Signing off of PNN, I'm Haley Conti.
While snow has fallen outside of our community and covering the winter wonderland, many of us have several winter activities we like to do. Whether it's sledding, skiing, or building a snowman outside your home, there is no doubt that you'll be entertained by the cold season.
My name is Sierra Watson, and I'm a senior. And my favorite activity when I was younger in the snow was building snowmen or making snow angels with my mom or dad.
I'm Ashley. I'm a senior, so I'm in 12th grade. When I was a kid, I wouldn't exactly have snowball fights, but I would put snow in everybody, like on everybody going out the house or going in the house or anything. Just immediately start putting the snow on everybody, so everybody we would all end up in the front yard just throwing snow at each other. So that's it.
My name is Sean Patterson, and I'm in 9th grade. My favorite snow activity is probably throwing snowballs, because it's fun and I get a laugh out of it.
While several students have their idea of fun, Jamila and I decided to take the winter season by storm.
A snowball fight. First, you need 2 or more people to play with you. Then, you're going to grab a ball of snow and make it as circle as possible. Next, you're going to throw it to the other opponent on the other team. Make sure, try not to hit it in your face because that will hurt. Step 1. Find a nice suitable place to make your snow angel. Step 2. Spread your hands and legs out on the ground and stare up at the sky. Step 3. Move your arms and legs up and down, together and out, trying to make an angel's body. Step 4. Get up and try not to step on the snow angel and turn around and look at your beautiful creation. Although you saw me out here playing in the snow, trying to build a snowman, throwing snowballs, it is okay to play outside by yourself. Even if it's sledding, skiing, or making an igloo, you will still be amazed about the snow outside. Although it's really cold. My hands are freezing. But this is Jamila Sanders signing off of PNN.
Here at Maryville High School, we have many sports teams, one of which is boys swimming. This winter sport has already begun, and the boys have already shown so much improvement.
I think that a lot of our swimmers have been working hard, and their endurance has definitely been building up a lot. So with that comes their times. So we've been getting some personal bests lately, and our students have been getting better on their technique work as well. So I just say all around, all the little details that need to be cleaned up have been getting cleaned up.
So far, the season has been going great, and the swimmers are sure to make the rest of the season just as amazing.
I expect the season to go overall really well. We have a bunch of new people who are overall maturing really well. Like, we have a bunch of freshmen and sophomores who started off as firsties, but they're starting off to grow really well, and they become a real good asset of the team.
I expect the season to go extremely well. I've been getting better, trying to make it to state and help my team succeed in the rest of the dive season.
I think it's gonna go pretty good. It's been pretty fun. There's a lot of good energy around. We've had some losses, we have some wins, and I think it'll go pretty well though. I think we'll kind of come out here doing good.
For some, this isn't their first season of swimming, and they believe this season may be better than the previous one.
Improve over last seasons. Like last year, we only had over 10 swimmers when the season ended, but when we first started, we had over 20 people starting out. Even though some people drop from time to time, we have more numbers, which obviously means we could have more relays, which means we'll have a better performance. So.
Had a great season this year. We have so many seniors, so I think it's been nice to see such an experienced group. I think that's the biggest change that we've had in quite a while. Usually our team's very young, but this year with all the seniors that we have on the team, the leadership level has been up, and we've just been seeing everybody kind of know what to do, know how to get around, and just swimming the best swimming that they've done in a long time through the experience.
None of the teams have been easy to compete against, but some were more challenging than others.
The hardest team I have went against is Lake Central High School and Valpo, because they are more experienced than me, because they've been doing this for more years. This is my first year, and they have more time, more practice, and they've been doing it longer.
The hardest team we've gone against was Valpo. They're really formidable, and their team is really good. We played against them last week, I think, and then we had a really not so good score. But I think our more next opponent that's going to be harder will be Lake Central. They're also really good, but we're going to try our best anyway.
All in all, the swimmers have had an amazing start to this year's season, and without a doubt will make the ending just as great. Signing off with PNN, I'm Isaac DeVore.
Teacher by day, fighter by night, Mr. Fruth not only leaves a big impact on students, but also leaves a big impact in the cage. Mr. Fruth currently enjoys balancing his career in teaching and coaching with his matches in the cage.
After high school, I wasn't playing any sports anymore, but I kind of still had that, competitive bug in me. Loved wrestling, so MMA was kind of a natural progression. I had some buddies that I wrestled with in high school that were already doing it, and they were doing it successfully. So I, gave it a try, and that bug kind of bit me too, and just fell in love with the sport, and been doing it since.
Not only has Mr. Fruth made a big impact on students, but on administrators too.
We are fortunate enough to get Mr. Fruth, Coach Fruth. He does some wrestling coaching as well, and teaches algebra from Hammond Clark. And he is an excellent teacher. The key thing about Mr. Fruth is he understands the importance of connecting with kids. He's not going to be able to teach those math concepts unless those kids believe in who he is, and that's what his classroom is all about. And that's what makes him such a great part of our staff. We are lucky to have him. And most importantly, students, if you have Mr. Fruth, you're lucky to have him as well.
I enjoy being a math teacher because in math, it's very objective, that you either get the right answer or you don't. But what I also like about it is that there's multiple ways to get to the correct answer, so you can still find, your own style of doing things. But again, it doesn't leave it up to, a teacher or professor being subjective and judging your, writing or things like that. Numbers, very objective. You get it right or you get it wrong.
Mr. Fruth is a wrestling coach here from Maryville High School and is gaining respect left and right.
Coach Fruth has been a great asset to our program. He does help us a lot at our junior high level. But after the junior high season, he comes up and he helps us at the high school level. He's great with kids. He's great at motivating kids and coaching kids. He's good at getting in there and really willing to put in some work, physical work too. When we lift in the mornings and we do our circuits in the morning, he does it with the kids. So he's a great asset, great role model. He not only knows how to talk to kids, but he knows how to work with kids, and he not only talks it, he walks it. Like I said, he gets in there and does some of the workouts and stuff with the kids, and I think that he's a great asset to our program, and hope he continues. I hope he continues to be here and continue to try to help us.
Mr. Fruth is an outstanding teacher, coach, and athlete, and continues to amaze MHS students in the classroom on weekdays and in the cage on weekends. Signing off for PNN, I'm Dominic Coleman.
As many of us enjoy watching the athletes here at MHS, their health and injuries are often cared for by athletic trainers. Our head trainer, Mrs. Hayes, has been a part of our athletic program for many years, and her job has many more responsibilities than many people may think.
Okay, you're asking a normal day in the life of an athletic trainer. Well, it can be a variety of different things. For me, I'm a teacher, and then I come here after school, and I'm an athletic trainer. For my assistant, Miss L, she just comes in right after school because she works from the hospital. So what we do as athletic trainers is right after school, we do treatment for any of the injuries for the athletes. We tape them up, we do therapy on them, we show them rehab programs to do for the different injuries. And if I'm on the basketball court or if I'm at football, then I'm the one that would be the person running out to the athlete to help them up and check and make sure what's going on, and then assist them off the court. But you can go in a lot of different directions. You could be at a hospital, you could be at a high school, you could be at a college, you could be professional sports. You can also do from businesses. They have trainers that are working there, and in physical therapy clinics.
A lot of kids think sometimes an athletic trainer can hold them out of practice and we don't want them to participate, but that's the furthest thing from what we're trying to do. We always tell the kids that we're their biggest cheerleaders and we want them to play as much as they want to play. So we try to allow the athlete to play as much as they can if they're injured while still being safe. And that's all we do as an athletic trainer, is prevent injuries, rehab injuries, and just try and keep the athletes on the court, on the field, playing the games that they love.
Student trainers have been a beneficial addition to the medical training program, helping to do various activities and test the waters of the medical field.
Being a student trainer, it's like really fun, and then you get to learn things like it's some of the bones and ligaments that Miss Hayes and Miss L has taught me that my other classes haven't taught me. So just learning new things along the way and how to tape certain areas like the ankle, the wrist, or even the shoulder is like really interesting. So during the football seasons, we're really busy. We sometimes could wrap or tape a player if we know how. We wrap them with ice, and then if the trainers need somebody, we could do a wrap a turf burn and stuff like that. And then during the basketball season, that's where we don't really do a lot. We basically just stay for practices and just ice players.
We would very much struggle without our student trainers. Like I said earlier, it can be very overwhelming, and our student trainers do a very good job at helping manage with Band-Aids and setup, and they help log athletes as they come in so we know who's coming in, what they're coming in for, and they do a really good job at keeping track of that for us. They also help with setup for ice and games and making sure that we have a way of checking and balancing to make sure we have everything, because there's always a lot when it comes to setup, and it can be easy to forget stuff, but having the student trainers help us make sure we have everything. They're like another brain to help us.
So I want to be in the medical field, but I didn't know which job that I wanted because it's like so many things in the medical field. So being a student trainer helped me tap my foot in the medical field. So that helped me.
Okay, so student trainers are our right-hand people. They help us get everything ready before a football game. They do the water on the sidelines, and during timeouts, they help us get the water out to the football players. Have us follow us around up and down the sideline, and then go out on the field if someone gets injured to help us out. And then after the games and practices, they are there to help us clean everything up and put everything away. They cover all of our JV games. They're with us for every varsity football game. They help us cover freshman football. They help us set up for the soccer games. So yeah, they're really very important to us because we couldn't get our job done if we didn't have them helping us. They can also help us with wrapping ankles ice on the ankles or the shoulders, and getting the guys stuff that we need if we're busy doing it with working on somebody else. So they're very essential to the athletic trainer.
With our athletic training department hard at work, there is no doubt that athletes' health will thoughtfully be cared for this season. If you would like to become a student trainer, reach out to Mrs. Hayes. Signing up for PNN, I'm Destiny Givens.